World Liberty Financial. I'm sure you guys have heard about this, coin that has literally taken the crypto space by storm. A highly anticipated launch, of course. And, a lot of people on the Crypto ZX channel also requesting, hey, Crypto ZX, give us an update on this coin. What do you think about this? Let's analyze the price. Appreciate the fact that, you guys are reaching out. And I'll try my best to, bring out these updates for you guys. But again, if you enjoy these updates, take 10 seconds out of your time to smash that like button and hit that red subscribe button. And of course, comment below and I will try my best to, incorporate these updates as much as possible. But, this coin launched obviously yesterday in terms of exchange. This has been, live for quite some time, since 2024, to be quite frank with you. But you were unable to trade this coin. So, in terms of trading, being able to buy and sell this coin, that has changed obviously since yesterday. We're already a day into this, but it's down about 13.5%. But again, it's just launched. We're going to kind of talk about a lot of things here. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. I'm going to share my personal thoughts with you guys as always. The price currently sitting at 24.3 cents, down 13.5% in USD, Bitcoin, and Ethereum comparative. The valuation is at a staggering 6.7 billion. We came up to 7 billion. I think we started off at around 7 billion, but we have seen a little bit of a retracement. But the 24-hour trading volume at a staggering 2.8 billion. So we're not talking about small numbers, and I'm sure you guys know why that's the case, of course, and how this is co-funded by Donald Trump himself and his family. Major backing, and that obviously is going to bring in a lot of attention. But also we need to understand, what is World Liberty Financial? It's not just some random coin that has come up on the market. There is some usability behind it, which of course is bringing in a lot of excitement. But before we get into any further, I just want to give you guys a quick disclaimer. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So you can see, in a summary, DeFi platform, that's what it is. It's obviously co-founded by Donald Trump, offering crypto lending, borrowing, and interest services targeting unbanked communities. And of course, you can see, it was listed on pretty much all the major exchanges. As to be expected, I'm sure no one is surprised by it. If you are, let me know why you're surprised at this fact. When you have Donald Trump name backing this thing, which obviously is going to automatically, that itself would bring in a lot of interest in terms of eyes onto this project. So that's that. Of course, in terms of liquidity perspective, I'm sure there's no problems with that, because it's pretty much listed at all the big exchanges. But look at this, World Liberty Financial Community proposes using 100% of protocol-owned liquidity, POL fees for, the token itself, like the native token, Wlfi, that's the ticker buyback, and permanently burning it to reduce circulating a token supply. We're going to come back to that. Keep this in mind, circulating token supply. Justin Sun received 600 million. That is insane. Come on, Justin Sun, if you're watching this video, please send some over my way. No, I'm just joking, but if he ends up watching it, come on, Justin Sun, share some with the boy Crypto ZX. But anyways, look at this. 20% of the first unlocked batch. That's insane. He got 145 million. That's madness. So now, let's kind of go back. I'm not going to pull out the charts right now. We're going to pull out the charts a little later on. So this was, obviously, this platform itself is developed on Ethereum blockchain. Obviously, it's supported, I think, on BNB chain as well and Solana, but it's pretty much, launched on Ethereum. But one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is the circulation supply. Only 27.3 million, billion coins are, in circulating. So tokenomics don't look the best. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. And again, this is my own personal opinion. As of now, the other 80%, no one knows what's going to happen with that. That's where the governance part comes into play. And that's the beauty of this, coin, if you want to say that, if you want to use the word beauty. Pretty much the people that hold the native token, they get to choose, they get to vote what needs to happen with those coins. So as of now, there's nothing set in stone. So that's where, some people are liking that, some not. Some people are saying, no, tokenomics are not good. But that's that right now. So the other 80 billion coins, there's no set in plan as of now as to what's going to happen. But this burning mechanism, that is quite an interesting one. And I think, this could get approved by people that are going to be voting. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and also let me know if you guys are holding this coin. But now, coming back to the token itself, what are my projections on this? So as far as dominance is concerned, dominance is still sitting at 58.5%. Doesn't really matter in this specific update because this coin just launched. If you're looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin did push up to 110,600. So far so good. We're coming out of a long weekend. Obviously, that's something that we need to factor in. But again, we're not out of the woods yet. We need to be at 115K minimum. As you guys know, that's a confirmation I've set for myself. We'll see what happens. As of now, price of Bitcoin is pushing up. But like I said, we need to, meet our confirmations before we get overly excited. But with that being said, let's take a look at what's happening with World Liberty Financial Coin. So look at this wick. It got listed on, okay, and let's kind of go back. This coin was pre-sale to some people. I think some big players, obviously. And I think it was at 10 cents, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. So people that got in at 10 cents, and I'm not talking about, there's not many people, again, like, big players that have gotten, they literally pretty much did a complete 200% increase right off the bat. But, this coin, as it was listed on major exchanges, on Binance specifically, we're looking at that, it had this wick up to 47.84%, 47.8 cents. As you guys know, on my channel, I don't count this. Everyone has different ways of looking at it. I don't count this. This is the listing price wick. I don't list that. I would say, give or take, around 30 cents would be considered the all-time high for this. So as it launched, of course, there's going to be some of the big players to lock some profits in. So as it launched, we did see this thing go down about 26.5%. So a 26.5% decrease, as you can see for yourself. But, we came down to 21 cents. And since then, the price did wick back up about a 20% increase. So very impressive moves, to be quite frank with you. The volume, of course, is really high. But you're starting to notice, and it's really hard to do technical analysis on new projects. But I think this thing, again, not financial advice. Only time is going to tell. But I personally think this thing is going to have some legs behind itself, especially as we are going into September, 17th, which of course is going to be the FOMC meeting if a rate cut happens. And on top of that, going into Q4, where a lot of people are anticipating altcoin season, I think this could really have a lot of eyes. In terms of, the timing, this timing is perfect. Based in my personal opinion, but look at this 25.24 cents key resistance. We retested it, I would say, 2 different times and kind of got rejected at this level. So it's kind of building up as a resistance. If this is able to flip, I have no doubts that, this thing can run up to 30 cents and onwards, maybe even pushing up to the likes of this wick. I know this wick is not somewhere near in the interim future. That itself is a move of about almost 100% from where we currently are. But I am optimistic, this coin has what it takes to push up to that level. Because I think, due to the names behind this is going to bring in a lot of attention. Look what happened with Trump coin. That's something people have already forgotten about. Maybe, obviously, long term, we'll see what happens, how the governance decides on, what's going to happen with the coins. But I think in the immediate short term, this thing could have some major legs behind itself, in my opinion, because, of course, the Donald Trump, name, and as well as the big backers. I think this could really bring in a lot of attention. And let's face it, guys, 6.6 billion in this market. It's ranked as top 33, and in order for this thing to reach $1, it needs a 27.6 billion and 27.3 billion valuation. And I'm not writing that off at all. I think that could realistically actually end up happening based off of the big names behind it. And right now, obviously, like I said, way too early to do some technical analysis, but 30 cents would be the next level to be looking out for. If we're able to pop out of this 25 cents key resistance, I'm projecting 30 cents to be retested, and then we'll kind of take it from there. 30 cents itself would be about a 22.79% move from where we currently are. And I think onwards after that, we can really start, pushing up to some of these other levels. But let me know your personal thoughts down below. Do you guys think, what I'm saying is realistic? Do you think it's absolutely unrealistic? Do you think this platform could really be used worldwide? Let me know, obviously, in terms of competitors, there's a lot of competitors. In terms of competitors to this, there's tons. tons of competitors. But I think the backing itself, in terms of a speculative part, this could bring in a lot of eyes from investors. But again, you need to understand the risks associated to it, because there's other big players that are holding this. If they decide, what, let me lock some profits in, they could do so. So these are things that you don't want to be forgetting. But let me know in the comments what your personal thoughts are. If you want to see more of these updates, smash that like button, hit that red subscribe, and we'll see you later. It's been Crypto ZX, and peace out.